Baseball is back. Welcome into another episode of Just Another Year Chicago. My name is Tony Safita. I am joined by my White Sox co-host, Jason. How you doing today, Jason? You excited?
Doing great. Beautiful day. Sun's shining. Baseball's back. Let's go, baby.
Absolutely. So what we found out, here's what we know so far as of 3 o'clock on March 10th. So baseball has just been confirmed back. Opening day is announced currently for April 7th. With spring training starting between like March 18th and 20th. I think they're still hammering that out. Players can start reporting to spring training tomorrow, so Thursday. Maybe, they're probably on the plane right now, I would imagine. I know all the players are changing their Twitter profiles back to real pictures of themselves, which is a funny little thing on the internet. So we're just going to kind of go over everything we know so far. Jeff Passan just put out a big article kind of breaking it all down. So sorry with this. So transactions can unfreeze today, most likely tonight, maybe even early Thursday morning, kind of whenever they officially sign everything and get everything moving. Meaning free agents can start signing as early as basically that piece of paper being signed. And we'll talk about what we think the Sox might do right away. So the final vote. So there were 8 players on the executive committee of the MLBPA, and there's 30 player reps, one for each team. So the final vote was 26-12 in favor of a new 5-year labor agreement. So it should be 5 years until we do this all over again, baby. So Jason, you want to kind of update us on, I guess, more of the baseball related rules that they made, like the actual related to the game?
Yeah, sure. So 9-inning doubleheaders are back. No more 7-inning BS like we had last season. And the extra inning rules with that are back. So we're not going to see a guy on second base anymore, which I know both of us are huge fans of. We've been bid on that a few times.
Yes.
So because they still want to play the 162 games, there are going to be a bunch of makeup doubleheaders, which more baseball for us. That's good. Even if we had to wait, right? Just kind of be positive, put a positive spin on it.
Oh yeah.
So 162. So full season means players get full pay, and the season will be extended 3 days. So you might have to bring out those jackets, Sox fans, when maybe late November, December, we're in the World Series, but we'll see. And then also reported universal DH doesn't affect us too much, except for those crossover games.
And the World Series, when we're playing in the World Series too. I'll have universal DH.
True. And this is kind of a new rule that I think I'm a fan of. We'll see how they use it. But 45-day window for the MLB to implement new rule changes. So like a pitch clock, if they want to do something with that, ban shifts, or maybe bigger bases. I don't know what all the hoopla is about that, but it seems to be a big deal.
Yeah. So a couple of the kind of behind the scenes baseball stuff. Real quick, just had a new tweet from Jeff Passan about the voting. To break down the breakdown of the votes makes it clear the players wanted to play player reps, so the guys that were representing their teams directly. They voted 26-4 in favor of the agreement. The executive subcommittee, which is made up of elected leaders, I don't know what the heck that means, but they voted 8-0 against it. So that's where the 8 of the 12 nay votes came in. So in the end, all the players' voices were heard, is what it says. I think it was the
Perfect.
Mets player rep voted against it because something with like the taxes, like the luxury tax increasing. There was a whole thing. But either way, here's kind of like the behind the scenes stuff, the financial stuff, kind of everything that they were probably arguing over way more than just, a pitch clock or universal DH. So the minimum salary governing players with less than 3 years of MLB service time jumps from 570,500 to 700,000 and will eventually grow to 780,000. That was a big one because obviously guys like Max Scherzer doesn't affect him anymore, but the players were clear they were trying to pave the way for the future players and make sure that the future of baseball is looking out for the younger players coming up. There will be a bonus pool of an extra $50 million that will be distributed among younger players not yet in arbitration. Don't know how they're going to decide it, if it's just everyone gets the same amount or what it is exactly, if it's performance based. I'm sure if you look that up, you can find out more. There is a draft lottery implemented, which is interesting. They kind of slipped that one in there. I know they were talking about it, but it looks like that is in there. Obviously, same reason as, the NHL, the NBA. They want to not encouraged. So discouraged would be the proper word there. Tanking, draft pick inducements. I don't know exactly what that means, but it is meant to discourage service time manipulation. So I imagine that means taking draft picks if they believe that you are, manipulating people's service time that should be able to come up, a la Chris Bryant. Honestly, even like Nick Magical and some guys, some of the younger Eloy. Eloy, they actually signed to a long deal, so a little different. And also, they want to limit the amount of times players can be optioned to the minors in one season. Jason and I were talking before we started this. That actually might kind of screw the White Sox a bit because obviously, if we have injuries, there may be some sort of allowance there, but we got a lot of guys and a lot.
Last
a small
year,
roster.
If this was in place, I'm sure it wouldn't have helped us.
No, we wouldn't be able to bring back, Luis Robert because we'd be stuck with, I don't know, nothing against Andrew, or I guess Jake Berger would be who it is.
Right.
Nothing against him, but obviously that could put teams a little bit of a quandary. Could also hurt some of the minor league players because they won't be able to come up as much because the team knows they can't send them down as easily. So speaking of the White Sox, like we said, free agency expected to open up probably within the next 24 hours, even less. Jason, what do you think the Sox should address immediately in free agency?
Yeah, so one of the first things, I might be Captain Obvious on this one, but second base, we made a risky trade, got rid of Nicky Two Strikes and Nick Madrigal. It didn't pay off.
No.
If it would have paid off, we would have won the freaking World Series.
Yep.
So we have to address that. I know there's a few options out there. I've heard maybe we could bring someone up from our system. I don't know. You read all of these articles when everyone's bored during the lockout. Yeah. Who knows what we're going to do, but we do need to address that right away. And we did lose a decent pitcher in that trade to the Cubs. So that's also one that we need to work out. Yeah,
so before I say what we should hit on, the pitcher that Jason is alluding to there is Cody Hoyer. Just want to give a quick little, shout out to Cody Hoyer. He unfortunately will miss the upcoming season with Tommy John surgery. I know he's on the Cubs now, but he was a guy that I enjoyed watching. I thought he's a great young talent. Really, he actually did really well in the Cubs when he got sent over there. So that's sad for him, obviously. Would have loved to see him play a little bit, when on a Friday at 1:20 in the afternoon, coming in like the third inning because the Cubs are down 15-2. So the main thing I would address, and then we'll get out of here, is second base obviously is up there, and pitching as well. There's been rumblings that the Oakland Athletics are going to basically have a fire sale when it comes to I think they're just team in general, but specifically their pitching staff, because what they have is they don't have necessarily those number one guys that you like. I can't name you a reliever off the top of my head from the Oakland Athletics, but what they do have is they have strong, above average, close to top tier pitching, all for pretty cheap. And that's basically why they are trying to get rid of them, because they don't want to pay them. That's the A's method, Moneyball method. I get it, but that could be interesting.
And we are good at developing pitchers. So
yes, and we're good at taking pitchers from the A's,
yeah,
as well, which we already did actually too. And we'll obviously do our season preview and everything coming up, and we'll break down if there are any free agent moves, any trades, anything of that sort as we go along. This is just kind of a welcome back baseball. Here's what to expect. Here's kind of the outline, and then we'll move on from there. So thank you everyone for tuning into this episode of Just Another Year Chicago. My name is Tony Sapita. Thank you again to my co-host Jason for jumping on with me to celebrate the return of baseball.
Of course.
Thank you for tuning in.
Let's party. Let's go play.
Absolutely. Thank you for tuning in, everyone. Let's go White Sox. If you're a Cubs fan too, whatever. Go Chicago. Go baseball. Let's have a great summer.
Let's go.